What people often miss is Bitcoin's way above. Like Bitcoin's way, everyone says, oh, crypto sucks. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Bitcoin has way outperformed all growth stocks during the, pre-COVID to now. Fortunate is crypto had this story of transparency. I must use the word 10,000 times in the last 5 years when I was talking about crypto. Transparency, egalitarian, fairness. And we had really big, giant, opaque players.
In today's video, our guest is Michael Novogratz, the founder and CEO of Galaxy Digital. Mike Novogratz gives a look back at 2022, lessons learned, and ideas on how the digital asset space can move forwards into the next cycle. Bitcoin is one of the hottest investments, still despite its price fluctuation. Many people still think they can make big money out of this ever-popular cryptocurrency. Other Bitcoin researchers believe that Bitcoin's price will rise by 20% over the next few months. Undoubtedly, different cryptocurrency experts have different analyses or predictions of Bitcoin's price. Even though Bitcoin's price has dropped, many still think it can reach $100,000. A study predicts that the Bitcoin price will reach $42,664 by 2023. Trust in the crypto sector has dwindled in recent months as a result of the post-FTX issue and the prolonged decline in cryptocurrency prices. These elements work against the long-term use of digital currencies and investment securities. The crypto sector needs radical transparency and decentralized finance (DeFi) to lower barriers to financial intermediation for the masses by utilizing technology that eliminates the problems that users of current centralized financial institutions face. Transparency of user funds is critical. One of the most significant promises of blockchain technology, which provides a fully auditable and valid record of transactions, is the ability to enable information transparency.
One of an instinct I have is that crypto has been a retail-driven, phenomena. I was called the people's revolution, right? I think retail will take us out of this bear market, not with no help from institutions, but it's going to take retail. Like the cheap money that will be lent will be retail money. And what's interesting is people believe in this space. They make mistakes, they see frauds, but they come back to it. They believe in decentralized systems. They believe in Bitcoin. They believe in Ethereum. They believe that in time we're going to cut the middleman out. Do they feel silly that we talked about decentralization and, we had this one giant player in FTX that literally lied through their teeth and was literally one of the core pieces of infrastructure? Yes. Everyone's like, duh. But they haven't given up on the dream.
Monday's Crypto Shocks and Retail Losses report looks at how retail investors flooded the space when the price of coins and tokens started plummeting, and most buying volume took place when Bitcoin was above $30,000. At the moment, Bitcoin is trading for around $25,000, down 64% from its all-time high above $69,000. The BIS notes that despite Terra's crash and FTX's fall, activity on crypto trading apps jumped after news broke of their failures, but larger holders typically were able to at the expense of smaller investors, as they know when to sell Bitcoin and other crypto to retail investors before a sharp decline. These losses could be exacerbated by the fact that larger, more sophisticated investors tended to sell their coins right before steep price declines, while smaller investors were still buying. In contrast, the BIS reported that whales of the aforementioned exchanges probably cash out at the expense of smaller holders by reducing their Bitcoin stockpiles as retail investors bought crypto.
Think about the two big Canadian pension funds, two of the four big Canadian pension funds, made big investments into crypto in 2021. 400 or 300 million into Celsius and 400 million into FTX. Both zeros within 6 months of making the investment. And so you got to be pretty stinking brave to be a Canadian pension fund guy to say, hey, I'm next. And so it's just going to, it's so unfreaking fortunate that, people got caught up in the frenzy and the fraudulence political. I think, unfortunately, the Democrats, who were all becoming crypto people, like they were like, it was going to be bipartisan, now feel like, oh, I got to back away because they got Sam Bankman-Fried stink over all of them. I actually read that Sam gave money to like 70% of all congressmen.
I know.
And so that part of it, I think, is going to make it harder for Dems to be like, oh yeah, crypto's great. it'll burn through, and the faster.
And what about the fight between the CFTC and the SEC? Because that needs to get resolved for everybody, right?
Oh yeah, I think that's on hold for a while. They're both like, we never said that. Why listen, they were both very, very close with Sam. And again, a lot of people were, and a lot of people got snookered. But Sam was negotiating to pretty much have dominance of a cash exchange that the CFTC regulates. And the SEC was going to bless that as long as they got to do, non-Bitcoin and Ether. And so there was this negotiation going on that was this close to getting done. And so I think they're both just trying to stay as far away from it as possible and to be as tough as they can right now.
Bankrupt crypto exchange FTX has warned its creditors against patronizing unauthorized debt tokens, including the Justin Sun-backed FTX user debt token. FUD is a debt token issued by DebtDAO with a claim of issuing FTX users debt as a bond token. At launch, about 20 million FUD was minted, with plans underway to mint additional tokens as soon as FTX confirmed the debt amount. Disgraced FTX founder SBF owned 90% of shares in Emergent Technology, a company he co-founded with Gary Wang solely to purchase Robinhood shares. FTT's value may have been influenced by rumors that the platform's operators were assessing the possibility of relaunching the beleaguered FTX. The growing optimism around these SBF-promoted crypto assets mirrors a larger surge in the crypto market. Despite the crypto space's unexpected twists and turns, many are unfazed. In fact, more people nowadays want to try their hand on Bitcoin and other popular digital currencies.
As a Bitcoin guy, I just see populism everywhere I look. And I don't see how everyone's all excited right now. We still have a 5% budget deficit with almost no unemployment. Like, when you have almost no unemployment, you should have a surplus, right? Little Keynesian cyclicality. And so we just, had an omnibus bill at the end of the year with $1 trillion plus. Throw it in. Again, politicians spend. And so we will debase fiat money one way or the other. And so Bitcoin's got a long story, and it's got a very hardened base of believers. And so I don't think Bitcoin goes away. And the way it's traded makes me feel great.
Well, let's see how this plays out. It's going to be a tricky year, as you say, but we've got through the worst of it.
Yeah.
That's my view. My view is I looked at ETH, it bottomed in June, and then we threw even worse news at it, and it didn't make a new low. And for me, that's a classic signal of, okay, we've had the selling exhaustion, now we can rebuild. So it kind of feels like we're there.
According to Mike Novogratz, Bitcoin appears to be faring well, attempting to put behind the uncertainty that emanated from the renewed regulatory scrutiny on the crypto sector. The capitulation has occurred after recording a peak in its price. Between the two stages, Bitcoin has experienced ups and downs in its price trajectory. In this line, the 2022 bear market formed the last Bitcoin capitulation level and the 2023 gains point at a possible rally. However, the flagship crypto is targeting to hold firmly above $25,000, a position that remains the center of attention ahead of the upcoming week of February 2027. Based on historical data and the asset's recent price movement, investors can expect possible good fortunes for the asset in the coming days. The experts and observers predict that Bitcoin will still rise in value in 2023. However, people will need to predict exactly what will happen to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies this year. As in previous years, Bitcoin was one of the best long-term cryptocurrency investments despite its high volatility. But it is always wise to invest in it with caution. What are your thoughts on Mike Novogratz's prediction about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in 2023? Do you expect digital assets to perform beyond investors' expectations? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like our content, give this video a big thumbs up and do subscribe to our channel.